My name is Timothy Lux.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Timothy.
Hello. Here in Las Vegas, casinos are ubiquitous. You can't go anywhere without crossing a casino, whether it's on the Strip, which is the famous one, or out in Summerlin, in Henderson, pretty much anywhere there's casinos. One of the most popular games that people play in casinos is blackjack. Blackjack is an action-packed game full of highs, lows, thrills, sorrow. Now, at any given blackjack table, you can find complete strangers high-fiving each other in joy, grimacing together in pain. It's a fun and tumultuous game. Anyone can learn the basic rules and strategy of the game, and it's important that they do to have the best experience possible while playing. Now, the goal of the game is to beat the dealer's hand. If any player starts off with an ace and a 10 or a card equivalent to a 10, which is any kind of face card, jack, queen, or king, that's called blackjack, the name of the game. They automatically win that hand. Now, players start off with 2 cards. The dealer starts off with 2 cards. The player's cards are all face up for everyone to see. The dealer's 2 cards, one is down, hidden, and the other one is up. That up card determines a lot of what the players choose to do with their hands. The goal is to get as close to 21 or 21 as possible, for your cards to add up to 21 and not to go over. If you go over, it's called busting, you automatically lose. Now, to start off, the players will determine whether they want to hit, which is when you tap the table and request an additional card. You can do that as much as you want. Or stay, when you go like this, and that means you don't want any more cards and you're happy with the sum total of the cards that you have. Now, after each player acts, the dealer then turns over his hidden card and will either hit or stay, depending on what they have. The dealer's actions are not determined at all by what anyone else at the table has. It's almost like the dealer's a robot that can't see or know what anyone else has. They do the same thing no matter what. So the dealer has to hit to 17. Once they reach 17, they stop. Even if a player at the table is showing 18 or 19, the dealer will stop at 17 because, like I said, they do the same thing regardless of what anyone else has. If the dealer goes over 21, they also bust, and everyone at the table wins, given that they haven't already busted. Now, the strategy that you use in blackjack is pretty much completely determined by what the dealer is showing as well as what you have. For example, if the dealer is showing a 4, 5, or 6, players will not want to take any additional cards if there's any chance that they bust. The reason for this is that those cards have the highest likelihood that the dealer will bust. So the players will not want to risk anything extra given that the dealer is likely to bust on that hand. Now, if the player has a 10 or an 11 showing, they will want to double down. That's when you put up double the bet you already have in exchange for 1 additional card. You do this because when you have a 10 or 11, there are many cards you can get that will give you a 21, or at least close to 21, and even if that card doesn't significantly help you, the dealer is likely to bust, and getting as much money on the table in those prime situations is key to your success. Even if the player only has like a 12 in that situation, they should stay, because if they do draw a 10, they would bust, and they want to give the dealer the opportunity to bust in that situation. If the dealer shows a 7 or higher, players will want to hit until they reach 17. If the dealer shows a 2 or a 3, the player should only hit until 13. Then they should stay. Again, this has to do with the odds of the dealer busting versus the odds of you busting, and you want to give yourself the best percentage chance to win. If you are dealt 2 aces or 2 8s, in that situation you should split them. Splitting is like doubling, except instead of just getting 1 additional card, you essentially split up the 2 cards to form 2 new hands. With the aces, you can play those as either 1 or 11, and starting off with 2 11s, you have a strong likelihood to form a very strong hand, and hopefully a 21. If you are given 2 8s, when you split those up, it's much more beneficial than just playing it as a 16, which is a very marginal hand. And on this table, I have a little example of what a blackjack table might look like. And here you have what would be 3 different players, and that's the dealer. You notice the 1 down card and all the players' cards are up. The dealer is showing a 3, which is good, it's opportune for the players. This first player is showing an 11. In this case, the right play is to double down, so they would double the bet that they already have there in exchange for 1 card. That card's a 10, which is how it wouldn't work if the world was perfect. So they have a 21, this person has a 20. They would stay there, this person has a 19, they would stay. Now the round of betting from the players is complete, so the dealer would flip up their underneath card, which is a 9, and their next card is a 2, giving them a 15. They would keep hitting because they have not yet reached 17. And this card, the 7, would give them 22, meaning they bust, they lose, and everyone at the table wins. Now, knowing the odds increases your chances of success, but keep in mind that in games like blackjack, the house, also known as the casino, always has the advantage, and no one can ever really truly become a blackjack master or expert because of this. Also, there's a lot of times when you'll make the mathematically correct play and it won't work out, and you'll look back and see that if you had done the incorrect play mathematically, you would have won, but you have to put those instances aside because over the long term, making the mathematically correct play will win you the most money over time. Playing blackjack can be very fun, and it can even be profitable at times. If you look at it as a way to enjoy an evening with friends instead of a way to get rich, blackjack can be a great experience.